Good afternoon. You're welcome to Kunde's Fashions. So this is another edition of our class. So we are here with upper leather. So we are to construct a upper leather for a sole. So it's going to be in two stripes. So that is what we are constructing, and Uh, something that needs to be done here is we measure our leather in 10 inches. In 10 inches. There's difference between inches and centimeter. So in constructing a palm, we use inches instead of, that is the length. That's the longness of it. So we use inches. So there are some times that we make do with centimeter as well, but as time goes on, we begin to know when and how to use centimeter, and areas to which we are to adopt the use of inches. So in making a cross palm in this form, in making a cross palm in this form, that is what we are about doing. But the one we are to construct now, it will be a little bit different from this. Will be a little bit different from this. As we move on, you certainly see how the production of the palm will certainly come out. And from this edge to this edge, we have 3.25 centimeter. That is 3.25, sorry, 3.25 inches. 3.25 inches. So the implication of that is, if we are measuring on the leather, so we go, this is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So we make do with 10 inches because it's a cross leather palm. 10 inches. So we'll come here as well, that is another 10 here as well. Now for us to do the folding as the one I showed us now, as I showed us now, so we go by using our ruler. So on the ruler we have inches as well. For us to know how to get 3.25 centimeter, this is 3.5 centimeter. The half of that 0.5 is 2.5. So we move from here 1 2 3. So if you see from here to here, there is a line in between. So the line is 0.2. Is 0.2. So we place our ruler. So if we are to go into measurement, we go by 6.5. So 6.5 divided by 2, 6.5 divided by 2 will be having 3.25 centimeter. 3.25 centimeter. So we have our 3.25 here. So if we measure from here to this place, it certainly give us 3.2 as well, 3.25 as well. If you are able to see it very well, this is the measurement. So we have 3.25 centimeter. So we'll go as well. So we have 3.5 here as well. We still go by measuring 3.25. We go by measuring to 3.25. So that is that. We move on to this side as well. We measure the same thing here, 3.25. So we have done the marking. So the next thing is to join those markings you've done. You join the markings you have done. So we rule it. you make sure your hand is straight, just because when you are doing the cutting, you have a straight cut, so you won't have a zigzag and not a good outlook. So you have a very nice cut. So remove, we draw a line here as well, we join here to this edge as well, we do the same. So we have from here downward, we do the drawing as well. So as we can see, we have our drawings, so we do the cutting, we cut it out, and when cutting, there are techniques to which you can use or you can adopt in cutting. Sometimes when you are cutting, you have to be very careful, extraordinarily, because if your cutting is not straight, you don't have a straight cut, certainly you'll be having problem with your production. Because we are going to fold this leather after applying gum to it. We'll fold the leather after applying gum to it. So you have to be very careful, and you don't rush while doing the cutting. Except for those that have been into the system for long. At least they can do the cutting as fast as possible, because it is a day-to-day activities they do. So a daily basis activities which they engage themselves in. But for those that are just starting, or the upcoming ones, it's not always advisable you rush. It's not always advisable you rush yourself while doing the cutting. You have to be very careful. So when we start doing the folding, you certainly see what I'm saying. If you don't have a straight cut and you want to fold, your leather will not be straight. 1. 2 is that the production output will not be too good, and that is why your customers will continue to complain that are you still learning? But somebody who does a very careful job and he gave a professional touch to whatever he does, people will appreciate, and they will also recommend the work to others. So as you can see, we have a straight cut. And the next thing now is we apply gum to this surface. And after applying gum to this surface, so we'll see what we do next, and you certainly have a very good production. Okay, so we have gum applied on the surface already. So we'll pick from this side. It depends on where it's convenient for each and every one of us. It is not compulsory that wherever the person who teaches you starts from, that is the same area to which you start. No. So look for your own convenience point. That is where you start. If it is convenient for you to start from the right, you start from the right. And you try as much as possible when folding. Do not allow, or when applying gum to the surface of your leather, do not allow the surface you are using to be to have sand. Let it be sand-free area or stone-free environment. So come to this other side. So I'm done folding this part. So I'll bring this as well, join it together, and I have my so this is what I was saying the other time. If my hand is not straight or was not straight while I was doing my measurements and I was doing my cutting, you certainly see that as they have attachment or they have closeness here, certainly it will not be this way. So you have to be very careful in your cutting. As I was saying, do not allow stone to be wherever you want to do your work. You make it a stone-free environment and sand-free environment as well. Stone and sand-free environment, so that your work it will look nice and to come out best, so that your customers will not have the guts to complain. So we do the folding as I'm doing, and your thumb is going to do most of the work. Your thumb is going to do most of the work. You can see it is my thumb that is working. My thumb is working. So your thumb will do most of the work. Your thumb will do that. Your thumb will do that. Now, people will now be wondering, how did you do this at the end of the production? Because there is still going to be a leather that is going to cover up this particular line. So take for instance, we have a leather like this. So we place it this way, as you can see, and after which we use our handkerchief to press it. So in your folding, you apply pressure to it. You apply pressure. So that is why we have this. You apply pressure, that is why we have this. Now, viewers out there, don't forget we have done our folding, and the next thing for us to do is we apply gum to the area to which the two sides meet. So we apply gum to the entire surface, and the next thing we do, this is a Gucci material, and the person who wants this palm never wants the design side of the material to show on the leather. So we are placing this on the leather. So we also apply gum to this. Do not make the mistake of saying, I have applied gum to the leather and this material, I don't need it. Irrespective of the material it is, either it is elastic or a clothing material, it is certainly you must apply gum to both the leather and the material you are placing on the leather. So this part, we are going to apply our gum to this side, which has already been done. So this side is plain. So you wanted the plain side, and that is what we are going to give to the person, because the taste of your customer matters to what you produce for your customer. So we are using this and we are placing it on the leather material that we have folded. We are placing it on our leather material that we have folded. And you need to be very careful here in placing your material on the leather. The material must not go or must not fall to one side than the other. It has to maintain balance. It has to maintain balance. So you have to be very careful in doing this, and because this area is a sensitive area that will certainly speak about your work. You certainly speak about your work. So we do it like that. We do it like that. And don't forget, the measurement we actually adopted from the beginning was 40 inches. We have 40 inches all through. So now if you are to divide it, we divide 10, 10, 10. So we have 4 different this. So as you can see, we have this place plain and straight. In fact, this can also be used as a ruler to rule lines, which is going to give you a straight line. So we have this. And the next thing to do on this is to sew this edge and to sew this edge, just to give it a perfect outlook. Now, what I'm doing now is that I'm actually certainly going to use one stone to kill 2 birds. One stone to kill 2 birds. So I want to produce a palm also with Louis Vuitton design or logo. I'm producing a palm slippers that will also carry a logo of Louis Vuitton. So what you do, I have my logo here. It is always being rounded up in a paper like this, just for it not to get stained or rough. So what you do is, a side will always curve out this way. You make it straight, so you have a flat hook already. So what you now do is you take the measurements yourself. Look at this middle. The L falls in between the V. So that is where your hook will start the bending. You bend it through that area. So you can see it's in between the V as well. So you come to this area too, you bend it as well. So we have our hook bent already. We have our hook bent already. So now the next thing to do is you place your leather on your last. Place your leather on your last, and you certainly place the logo. You place it to come this area. Sorry. You make your logo stand, and if your logo is standing, it has to bend this way, not like this and not like this. So it has to stay in this form. It has to stay in this form. So you press it, you give it a hard press. Give it a hard press. You can see we have a sign already, and you pick your punch. You pick your punch and your hammer. But in case your hammer is nowhere to be found, or your hammer is not in your custody, the plier can also be used in replacement. So what we'll do now is, I have got the place to which the logo will be inserted. So look at this part. This is the folded part, and this is the folded part. Just bind the two together. The two folded sides, you make them face each other, and you place your leather on your so you go. What I'm to achieve here is that this I place my leather on is called punching board. So what I'm to achieve here is that I'm certainly going to have this area punched, and this also punched as well. So this is going to be the left leg, and this is going to be the right leg. So we place our Louis Vuitton, we place it into it. So you can see how it is standing. You can see it's not bending somehow, or it's not giving you it's giving you the straightness that you want. So you come to this side, you bend this side this way, you bend this way as well. Don't make mistake of placing it this side. Why? Because when you are sewing, your machine will certainly not go on this iron. Your machine will not go on the iron. So you make it safe by putting it this way. So I go on this as well. You might be facing, or you might face a problem. Look at this. It somehow has a screw. It somehow has a screw. So which you can bend to wherever you want, or the area to which you want it to go. You can see it has moved. So I place my logo. You can see my logo is standing as well. So don't forget, you press this side, you press like this. So I'm done having my logo. So the next thing I do is also I cover this side up with the leather, cover this side up with a leather as well. Okay, so don't forget, we have actually inserted our logo, and this area to which we folded the iron into. So we have the two side. So the two side, you certainly put gum here, you put gum here, and you place it on this material as well. Please don't, because you want your work be perfect, don't waste material. Don't waste material, because these days materials are too costly, and you can see I'm actually giving it a press. I'm giving it a press, and as I'm working, I will certainly work with an handkerchief as well. I'll work with an handkerchief so that it will give me a neat press. It will give me a neat press. So I work with an handkerchief. So you press on both sides. You press on both sides. You come here as well. You press. So next is to cut it out. Before you sew, and at the same time you can sew together with this, but for the gum we have applied not to dry off, so that it will not affect the upper material when cutting it out. So it's advisable for those that are just upcoming to do the cutting before the sewing, because when the gum dries, so you can see this, when the gum dries, you certainly injure the upper leather. You will certainly enjoy it, and it will show. You certainly enjoy it. So for it not to happen, you do the cutting before you sew. Do the cutting before you do the sewing. You do the cutting before you do the sewing. So now I have a perfect cut. So you can see this. I have a perfect cut. So we are doing the front part, or the front part. This front part, we have the measurements. We have two different stripes that will come from this, between these two toes. So it will come and it go separate this way. It will go separate. It will come from here and go separate this way. So what we do now is, I told us earlier that we use centimeter to do our measuring, or our measurements. At the same time we use inches. So here now we have from this edge to this edge is 3 centimeter, another 3 centimeter, another 3 centimeter. So we do the cutting out now. We cut it out, and at the same time we are going to fold. At the same time we'll fold it after applying gum to it. So we'll also fold it. We'll also do the folding of it after we have 3 centimeter. So we apply gum to this side, and we'll do the folding as we did the other one. So that is what we are going to do for this as well. And hello, followers of Connex. You are welcome to the final edition of our construction. So we are to do the finalization of the palm we started sometimes. So we want to place the final step of the palm, and in doing that we have our placement this way, and we go, after the application of the gum, we go this way, we go, and in getting the accurate measurement we need from here to this place, we need just 5.5 centimeters, 5.5 inches, 5.5 inches. But it's always advisable you give it some centimeter or some measurements addition. So if you look at this particular place, we have 5.5 already. So we have just this little 0.2 added. So we have a 0.2 added. So we have 5.5 already. We have 5.5 already. So that this is just for you to get the accurate measurement in case the person who wants to wear it is not available, just to give it a test, so you have your accurate measurement in this way. And after which this is a 45 sole, a 45 sole. And in getting this done, you can as well use 42 last to last 45. At the same time, you can use 45 to last 45. It depends on the last you have. There are some sort of persons that will have the entire last from 30, even from the kids, you have the entire last. But economically, it's always advisable. If you don't have the money, it's not advisable you think of getting all the last available in your store. So it depends on the ones you have, that is what you make use of. So in placing this one, so we go this way, don't forget I told us we are doing a palm of 2 stripes, so we'll go this way, and we have this glue to the sole, come this way as well. This is also glued to the sole. It's also glued to the sole. So we move on gradual process. And the last one we do is, this is also placed in the right position. This is also placed in the right position. Sorry. This is also placed in the right position. So this goes this way. This goes this way. And this comes this way. So we have a good placement already. As you can see, we have a good placement already. So we have this done, and give it a test. Give it a test. Give it a test. So we have this. So one thing you need to note here also is that your customers' height of the leg must also be determined. Do not say because everyone uses the same size and everyone uses 42, 45, and you will not consider the height of the height of the feet of your customer. So it has to be considered. So this is done already, and we are good to go. So we're going to give it the final placement on the sole, and the customer is ready to collect. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for always being there for Kunlex. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Kunlex Fashions, and you give your comments. Your comment is always welcome, and we appreciate you for always being there for Kunlex. Don't forget, follow, like, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you very much for following.